Hey guys, and welcome to episode 9 of Terran Talks Starcraft Tactics. This week we're going to talk about scouting, which is very, very important. I mean, a lot of people are always talking about improving your macro and micro in Starcraft, but scouting is really important, knowing how to do it, when to do it, and what to look for while you are doing it. It's really hard to do it first consciously, and I still have problems doing it sometimes, especially against Protoss. Not only does scouting require you to expend some of your microing time, you also have to know what you're looking for and when, and why. Sometimes scouting completely sucks when you only play or have knowledge of one of the races, as knowing all of the builds, the build orders, and all of that kind of stuff for every race is really important when trying to scout perfectly. In the interest of time and remaining brief, I've put together some of the best basic tips on how to scout. Even if you're in like low to mid leagues or even in the higher leagues, it can help you and it can get you in the perfect mindset to know what you're looking for when you do scout. Here are a few of the general things I'd like to put in the front of your mind in regards to scouting. Make sure you're periodically checking what your opponent's doing. It's really imperative to make sure you know exactly when he's tech switching, what he's doing when he's expanding at all points of the game. This can be easy to forget to do in like the mid to late game, but make sure that you keep doing it because it can be a big component in whether or not you come out on top. If you're moving out or leaving your base undefended, make sure you know where his army is. This will make sure he's not going to come back and counterattack you, as well as giving you the great strategical knowledge to know where exactly in his bases you can attack without, attacking up a ramp and dying or something. You don't want any surprises. Place some scouters at different locations on the map where your enemy would have to travel in order to get to your base. This includes ground places as well as like airdrop locations. You definitely want to be ready for impending attacks as well as harass. Fast, cheap, or flying units are great for this task. You can also use probes and workers, even in the later game. Placing a worker or a different undetected unit at your enemy's 3rd and 4th base will let you know when he expands. It'll also maybe delay it a little bit, which is cool. I'm sure this goes without saying, but try to have the Xel'Naga watchtowers. As you guys know, they give you a wider range of vision in really important places on the map. Now that we've gotten the general stuff out of the way, let's talk a little bit about worker or overlord scouting in the beginning and what to look for. It's important to scout for gas timings and how much gas has been taken out of the geyser. This can give vital insight into which tech path he's going to, how soon, and if you need to worry about some kind of timing. For instance, if a Zerg drops a gas before a spawning pool, he's probably looking to get early speedlings, and you can kind of infer that he's going to want to do some early harass from that. Based on that, plus scouting if or when he expands, you can be pretty much ready for anything he's going to throw at you. See, scouting is very, very informative and helpful. The most important thing to look for while you're initially scouting is whether or not he's expanding and when. If your opponent is staying on one base, he's probably going for some crazy all-in or cheese, and it might be at your doorstep pretty soon. If you don't get the scouting info in time and you just follow along your build or opener, you probably will lose to this cheese. Don't feel too bad if you lose your initial scout, or even subsequent ones. It's really important to get that knowledge, and losing a couple units for that isn't that big of a deal. And now for a quick breakdown of scouting tips per race. With Heart of the Swarm, Blizzard has made it so that every logical tech path as Protoss has a scouting unit, whether you're going Stargate, Robotics, or Heavy Gateway. An observer from your Robotics is a great, simple, and really common choice. Not only will it allow you to see everything in his base as long as he doesn't have a detector, you can also kind of follow his army around, which is pretty awesome. Great scouting info. From the Gateway, you can build a sentry and use Hallucinate. Not only will this give you great scouting information at the cost of only energy, but you can kind of play mind games with your opponent as well. The Oracle is your choice from the Stargate, with Envision and Revelation making it much easier to scout as a toss. Revelation will even reveal units and buildings for a whole minute after it's cast. Don't forget, a Mothership Core can also aid by scouting around the map as well in the early game. For Terran, scouting is all about the Comlink Timings, knowing when to do them and how much without taking away from your economy by sacrificing mules. An example of good Comlink Timings as a Terran is around 6 minutes or whenever your second orbital finishes if you're going 1 racks expand, and then again around 9 minutes. These timings will make certain you know about your opponent's tech path as well as his expanding situation. A single Viking is great for scouting too and can fly around the map killing overlords if you're playing against Zerg, which is really annoying. Reapers are helpful as they are quick and they can jump up walls and heal out of combat. And when opening with Hellions, you'll have great scouting information as well as map control and harass potential. Zerg players should make sure they spread their overlords out around the map for scouting. They can also be used as a sole scouter in the beginning in some matchups and situations. It depends. Overlord speed also helps a lot in scouting, and you can get it even earlier now in HOTS. Speedling run-bys are great for scouting too. They can stress out the opponent and you can kind of just zoom in and squeeze by and check out what's going on in the base. Remember to be diligent with your creep spread. This can give you ample time to know when your opponent is pushing across the map. If you research Burrow, you can place lings at potential places that your enemy will expand. It also makes it really annoying when they have to kill it off before they even can expand. Changelings from Overseers are great little spy infiltrators that can give you a lot of scouting knowledge depending on how quickly your opponent realizes that they're there. Well, there you have it. I hope this quick tip guide on scouting has helped you get in the right mindset when laddering. I know it's helped me immensely to learn things like building requirements and gas cost for things while I'm trying to gather intel. With that kind of intel, I can kind of do some quick math and decide what he can or cannot be having in each stage of the game. And as I say that, my last tip for this video is going to be to go into Starcraft and use that multiplayer help guide that shows you all of the information you need about each unit, even the races you don't play, as you'll familiarize yourself with all of that stuff and get a lot better at scouting from doing so. Listening to a ton of professional casters do analysis like this can also help you get a grasp of this. And remember, you're not always going to scout perfectly. Opponents can hide buildings, play mind games, or maybe you can even be mistaken. Make sure you're ready for anything and keep your eyes open. Create contingencies too. Good luck, have fun! As a reminder, if you guys don't watch the Tuesday Terra Talks, I will be out of town next week at E3 with the Zoomin gang, so yeah, no shows next week. Well, shows, but just a lot of E3 coverage. No Terra's topic or anything like that, no Terra Tactics. Just keep that in mind. Alright guys, see you in 2 weeks. Happy scouting!